Hello students, welcome to my YouTube channel IT Academia by Arvind sir. In this video lecture, I am going to start with unit number 5 of software engineering. Basically, we are going to see in this unit what is software testing and maintenance. Okay, so software testing is a very big topic. So we conclude in a very small with a small definition. What is software testing? So basically software testing is the process of finding the bugs in a software. Software testing ensures that whatever we have developed, we have tested it thoroughly and it is as per the requirement of the customer. And after that, we go to the maintenance of the software. Maintenance is nothing but adding more features to the software, changing the operating system of the software to make the user look better with the operating system, with the database, etc. We go for the maintenance of the software. Okay, so let's start with the content of this unit. When you go to the contents, we have to study strategies, testing architecture, testing tools, maintenance, and lastly we have defect analysis. So basically topics five topics we have to study in this software testing unit. Number one is testing strategies. So let's see what is testing strategy. Strategies means techniques. Which kind of the techniques you are going to use for testing your software. So test strategy is also known as test approach, which defines how testing could be carried out. Test approach has two techniques. One is the proactive, means from starting you are doing all the things. Okay, so it is an approach in which the test design process is initiated as early as possible in order to find and fix the defects before the build is created. Means before building your software already you have designed all the you are thinking of design of the process, you have started. Okay, and second is reactive. Reactive means an approach in which the testing is not started until after design and coding are completed. Means you are waiting for coding to gets complete and after that you are going for the testing. Different test approaches. So there are many strategies that a project can adopt depending on the context, and some of them are means our strategy also depends on the context of the project, on which context you are developing a project. So let's see, the first one is the dynamic and the heuristic approach. Dynamic and heuristic approach means you are going to have dynamic things like database, updation, deletion, insertion, etc. is going on. Some features you are every day you are adding new features to your software like that. Consultative approach means based on the consultants. Model based approach like statistical information about the failure rates. Approaches based on the risk based testing where the entire development takes place based on the risk. Then methodological approaches which is based on the failures, and standard complaint approach which specified by industry specific standards. What the factors we are going to consider? So risk of the product or the risk of the failure or the environment and the company. Expertise and experience of the people in the proposed tools and techniques. Regularity and the legal aspects such as external and the internal regulations of the development process. The nature of the product and the domain. Next we have testing architecture. Only one small description about the testing architecture I have given. Okay, so test architecture is nothing but the discipline of looking at a stream of delivery and working out what, how and when to test to achieve the best possible outcome. So it produces a framework of test activities that can then be scoped, prepared and executed. The architecture may be a one-time architecture which support a fixed term program, or it may be the perpetual architecture which is used for ongoing product development. Next we have the testing tools. See, without a tool we are not able to do the testing of the product. So tools plays very important role. So tools from a software testing context can be defined as a product that supports one or more test activities, right from planning requirement, creating a build, test execution, defect logging and test analysis. Next is the classification of tools. Tools can be classified based on the several parameters. They include the purpose of the tool, the activities that are supported within the tool, the type or the level of testing it supports, the kind of the licensing, means your software is open source, freeware, commercial, and lastly the technology that you use. So all these things are based on the classification of tools. So these are the types of tools we have in this table. First type of tool is test management tool. It is used for test managing, scheduling, defect logging, tracking and analysis. It is used by the testers. Second is configuration management tool. This is for implementation, execution, tracking changes. So all team members can use this tool. Third one is static analysis tool. So basically it is used for static testing and developers can use this tool. Fourth one is test data preparation tools. It is used for analysis and design, test data generation. Testers will use this tool. Fifth one is test execution tools. It is used for implementation and execution. Testers will use this tool. Sixth one is test comparators. This is used for comparing the expected and actual results. All team members can use this kind of tool. Seventh is coverage measurement tool. It provides the structural coverage. It is used by the developers. What is structural coverage? Means what is structures you have covered in your software. Eighth one is performance testing tool. It is used for monitoring the performance and the response time. It is used by the testers. Ninth is project planning and tracking tool. This is basically used for the planning and project managers can use this tool. 10th one is incident management tool. It is used for managing the test. Testers can use this kind of tool. So this is what the tool, who is going to use it and what is the use for that tool we are using. So tools implementation. So when you are going to implement a tool, what is the process behind it? So analyze the problem carefully to identify strengths, weaknesses and opportunities. The constraints such as budgets, time and other requirements are noted in that. Evaluating the options and shortlisting the ones that are meets the requirements. Developing the proof of concept which captures the pros and the cons. Create a pilot project using the selected tool with a specified team. And last one, rolling out the tool phase wise across the organization. Next is the maintenance of the software. So maintenance testing is performed to identify equipment problems. Also, equipment problems are to confirm that repairs are effective. For example, we have a mobile phone. If something, there is a fault in your mobile, what you do the first repairing of it. You are not going to purchase some new mobile on the spot. So if when you are going for the repair of that particular mobile, you think it should be the repairs are effective, means आज मैंने मोबाइल बनाया तो कल वापस खराब नहीं हो जाना चाहिए, राइट ना. सो यू ask them what is the guarantee, what is the warranty you are going for this service for repair. So he say 2-3 months or 1 year, then you will decide, yes, I am going for the repair. Otherwise, if the repair is not possible for your mobile, then you are going to purchase that mobile, because purchasing any software or anything is very difficult. Okay, so we will do the maintenance of that. So it can be performed at either the system level, equipment level, or the component level. End user might want to migrate the software to other latest hardware platform or change the environment like OS version, database version, etc. So which require testing the whole application on new platforms and environment. So example I've given for WhatsApp. See, WhatsApp you can run in any platform, or whether it is Android operating system, OS, then Macintosh, any mobile, any handheld devices, everywhere it runs. Think if that WhatsApp only runs on the Android, then who is going to use that? Only the Android peoples, and the rest are not able to use that particular software. So that's why WhatsApp is very famous app in the world. So you have to make a software in such a way that operating system is not a barrier for your software. Okay, so that kind of things you have to. So the need of further maintenance testing. As the wish list of the end users increases, it becomes a compulsion for the software development firm to deliver on the same. So in the same manner, the end user might wish to migrate onto a newer operating system, or likewise a platform or a newer version of hardware, etc. As such, the need arises for the maintenance testing. Types of maintenance testing. Conformance maintenance testing. During this part of maintenance testing, we do the modification. First you have to confirm the things and then go for the modification. And second is the regression maintenance testing. Changes should not affect the previous part of the software. Remember, changes should not affect the previous part of the software. So once it has been confirmed that no more errors occur in the modification, it is now time to test that unintended defects have not spread elsewhere in the software. Last topic of this unit is defect analysis. So once you analyze the defects in the software, then only you will be able to improve your software, right? So you have to plan for the defect analysis. So defect analysis is part of the continuous quality improvement planning, in which defects are classified into different categories and are also used to identify the possible causes in order to prevent the problem from the occurring. It helps the projects to identify how issues can be prevented and in reducing or eliminating the significant number of defects from being injected into the system. Defect analysis is a cooperative effort between the different consultants involved in a project. Their knowledge about the process is put to use to help in the defect analysis and can be considered as a part of the model for experience driven increment software development process improvement. So once you have analyze the defects in your software, definitely you are going to put some incremental development in your software. Always your software is going to have some new features in that. Defect analysis focuses on developing the solution to attack root causes of the different commonly occurring effects. Why that defect is coming again and again? So you have to find out the root cause of that defect. So once you have find out that root cause, you will be able to solve the defects. So for this reason, past projects can also be analyzed to get the defect data. So thus, it aims at higher productivity and quality in future iterations by making use of the experience in its current iteration. So the steps involved during the defect analysis are collecting defect data at the end of each iteration, identification of common defects with the help of different analysis techniques, performing causal analysis and prioritizing the root causes, identification and development of solution for the root causes, implementation of solution and review of the status of defect analysis at the end of the next iteration is to be done during the defect analysis. So defect analysis can be used for measurement of change before and after the introduction of the improvements. Defect analysis helps in improving both productivity as well as quality of the software. It also helps in reducing the effort needed for defect removal on a long-term basis. So with this, we have concluded unit number 5, software testing and maintenance in software engineering. Okay. So if you like these videos, please like, subscribe and share with your friends so that others can also be useful, get benefit of this content video. Okay, thank you so much for watching this video. Okay.